We are Steve and Jill.
Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show,
We answer that and more. I'm Stephen Jack Putella.
And I'm Jill DeWitt, and this is the Land Academy Show.
This is episode number 2060. Today we're talking about if texting and emailing sellers really works, and then all the associated pros and cons that go along with that. It's a
We're going to try not to make this an hour.
fascinating topic, and it's one that we get this question multiple times a week.
Which is smart. People are always thinking ahead. What else can I be doing?
Here's why. It applies to brand new people. Many people have said to me over my career, what? You send mail like the U.S. Post Office mail?
Yeah.
I would think that this is a 21st century, pal. I would think there's a better way to contact sellers that doesn't cost thousands and thousands of dollars. So we'll talk about that. And then, obviously, the pros and cons. Mm-hmm. This is Tuesday, and we are talking about this week, the entire week, 5 of our most popular questions that we've gotten over the last 10 years of heading up Land Academy. Each day on the show, we answer a question from our Land Academy member Discord forum, and we take a deep dive into land-related topics by popular request.
Okay, James wrote, I'm brand new to Land Academy. People are throwing out crazy revenue numbers. How do I ramp up that fast? I love this. This is exciting. I know you're new. You're like, how can I get to, $2 million a year like that guy?
My first gut reaction to this question is I want you to do one transaction and forget about everything else. But in the back of your head, maybe write something on the mirror so you can see it in the morning in the bathroom. Just know that it's really possible to make millions and millions of dollars of this a month. But you got to get that first deal done, or else you'll just lose you can't see the trees through the forest kind of thing.
That was going to be my answer too. Like, just be slow and methodical and keep growing and adding zeros. So you're like, what do you think is a good natural progression?
Well,
like year 1, year 2.
The first thing exactly. So, Joe, that's so good. The first thing I do when I'm trying to accomplish anything at all, I open my calendar and I deconstruct the steps it's going to take for me to get to where I want and put the milestones in the calendar. And then if I'm really crazy adamant about it and I want to speed up the process, I start putting alarms on my phone. Ask Jill. Our phones go off with alarms all the time, and during the day. And so I know that that's some type of, we didn't even ever talk about this. You and I have never had this conversation.
No.
Because we're the same type of weirdo.
Well, I don't know. My alarms really started when I met you.
Your internal female alarms?
Yeah, that's a whole separate topic. So yeah, I've never had so many alarms. So go ahead. But yeah.
If I was brand new, I would give myself, depending on what my work schedule and life schedule is like, a certain amount of time to go through all the programs and the Land Academy content. Hopefully this podcast is, before you spend even a dollar, research the podcast. I would really visualize and put myself in the position of what this looks like, what my day looks like eventually, and who's working for me, and I would really immerse myself into the topic and see if it's going to work out or not. Because being in control of your own schedule and getting organized and putting this all together, like anything in life, it's complicated. There's a bunch of moving parts, and there's a reason that not everybody's doing this, and there's a reason that the reward is so high if you can figure it all out. And I don't mean figure out the mechanics of it, but figure out your life and how it fits into this. And so I would spend 6 months really thinking about the nebulous part of that and going through the mechanics, the Land Academy program or whatever program out there you think is best for you.
I'm going to say just start slow. Like Jack said, be methodical. Give yourself realistic goals and realistic deadlines. There's nothing wrong with saying, all right, 2025, I need to make $100,000 profit, period. That is such an easy, attainable goal. Heck, you can do that in 4 deals. Do 1 deal a quarter because that's all you have time for. You'll make that. and then you're on your way. So, and then now in 2026, I want to double that. In 2027, I want to double that.
But ask yourself these two. There's two huge components to this that you will never be successful if you don't grasp at least probably both of them, but at least one. Number one, you need to pick a place to send mail and get a mailer out that's priced correctly. There's a big data component to that. There's a large Excel component to that. The tools that we provide have made it a lot easier, but in the end, you're still responsible for what's happening. That's my part. Once that mailer gets out, I kind of, wring my hands and say, good luck, Jill. And what ends up happening is she then starts fielding these phone calls and creating real estate deals out of thin air, out of the offers that I sent out because we caught the person at the right time. The mailer was priced correctly. The place that we're sending these offers was chosen methodically. All the stuff that I did that just kind of goes into the background once Jill gets that phone call. So, and then we buy it and resell it because we have staff.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to see yourself in that position and see those things. And I believe the first part of everything is always the hardest.
Well, James is in Land Academy. He's new. He's just excited to get going. So, my other thing I was just going to add on all this is, along with, your own goals, hang out with those people.
That's
Hang
great
out.
advice.
Hang out. Like the people that you're reading right now and seeing that are making 1 million, 2 million, whatever crazy million a year, hang out with them and mirror what they're doing.
I have to say, as an instructor, after a decade of doing this, the kinds of questions that I really pay attention to that people ask are as follows. And I never get them. We never get these types of questions. I went through chapter 3. I understand that I got it.
Okay.
I went through chapter 3. I understand this part of the red, green, yellow test, but I'm really wondering about this one little subsection of whatever. That's not what we get. The questions that we get, and we're dealing with them all week this week, are, hey, have you guys ever considered texting? And the answer is, of course we have.
Yep. You know what's
No,
funny?
it's like they halfway want to, I think, educate. When I get these questions, want to educate you on this new thing called texting, or this new thing called email, and why it could apply to being successful at Land Academy, buying and selling land.
As we're going into the topic right now, I'm going to say you're not really an instructor, you're a mentor. It's very sweet when you call yourself an instructor like it's somebody else's program and you're just like, I'm just here teaching, you're a coach.
I don't want all the responsibility
I know.
of being a mentor.
You're not an instructor. I hate to break it to you, but you're bigger than that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Today's topic, does texting and emailing real estate sellers really work?
Good. I want to talk about this. I'm like, hurry up. I want to talk about this. This is such a hot topic, obviously. It goes with the AI and everything. And you notice there's a theme this week, too. These questions are all leading towards, the future and what everybody's trying to do. And they're trying to make it a little bit easier on themselves. And they're trying to find shortcuts.
Shortcuts.
By the way, I'm so tired of shortcuts and easy buttons. Everybody's like, this topic came to me in a Facebook group that I'm in. It's not a Land Academy one. It's a bigger group than that. It's all land investors group, and from all over the world. And what's funny though is I go through and I pick out the people in there. I'm like, Land Academy, Land Academy, Land Academy,
Yeah,
Land Academy.
me too.
I'm like, I know
Same
you
thing.
guys. It's very sweet. You're out there sharing this wonderful knowledge with the world, and I think it's great. So this topic came up, and it was just like, there's a lot of people that are going, why is this so hard? Okay, first of all, what the heck and how are you doing it and how is this legal? Then it's like, what's all involved? And then it goes into why is this so hard and all that stuff. And it is flippin' hard. So I just want to bring up some
What's flipping hard?
texting and emailing and trying to make it work
Harder
because
than
it
the mail?
doesn't. Yeah. So that's the whole point here. So is there a way to do this? Sure. Is it legal? No. Are there workarounds? Sure. Are they easy? No. Is it worth it? You decide.
Well, here's my question, and before we really get into the mechanics, because I love the path you're going down here. I want you to ask yourself this question. Actually, I'm going to ask Jill this question. I have a 100,000 unit database, and I have their phone numbers, their email addresses, and their physical address, their mailing address, where the taxes go. I send the exact same note, the exact same content via mail, via email, and via texting. 100,000 units.
Mm-hmm.
How many properties are going to buy in each scenario?
Oh, I have a good answer.
Go ahead.
First of all, how many are going to get through?
Keep going.
So I'm going to just start right there.
You're going to do
I
deals in all three
feel
situations.
I feel way more confident, extremely confident, because it's legal and ethical that my mail is going to get delivered. Check. Let's move to email. I text out 100. Okay, now the filters are getting so good. There's things like I have to go find, like I didn't get that email, and these like we use Microsoft Outlook. Microsoft Outlook has a new thing called clutter, and it's just choosing for me what it thinks I should see and not see. Can I tell you how many times I've got important email messages that I need, like from my bank, in clutter? I'm like, I didn't get that. I had to go looking for a passcode.
Okay.
So, because of these filters and these things going on, I mean, your 100,000 unit, gosh, if I'm lucky, 30% of that gets through. If I'm lucky.
So there's filters.
Yeah, there's filters and gateways and things to stop spam and clutter. If you don't think that they don't know that that many texts went out at one time, you got another thing coming. They
Totally
know,
agree.
they see it. All these filters. So that's that. Then we get to the texting. Again, not legal, but boy, these gateways and these filters and these textings, I bet I'm going to argue even less get through than you think, and you wouldn't know. Would have spent so much time and so much energy, and I think that's what's going on here too. People who think they are successful texting, they're having to spend a lot of money and time and energy to get a fraction of them through that I'm getting. And then you got to bring up the whole other thing is right now we are exactly as I don't know how it's gonna air, but as we're recording this, we are exactly 1 week before Election Day. I am sure your phone, like mine,
Yeah.
is
And I'm sure
bombarded
you hate it.
with all of the political texting messages that get through. And they're like mean and stupid. Like, did you know this senator did this to his wife right before she went to the
Oh,
hospital to
geez.
deliver a baby? I just got that today. I'm like, what the heck? So
Well,
I'm
you
like,
actually read it then.
I saw the line. It probably was like right there on my screen, and I'm like, ugh, I can't stand it. So many people are not paying attention and ignoring it and all that stuff. So there are 50 texting platforms that we know of. I know many people. We've tested stuff. Boy, have we! And not all 50, but I know people that I think they have used all 50 and tested this. And they have this, there's gateways now. There's a middleman in there to stop the spam texting. You got to find a way around that. How do you do that? Well, you need to have a programmer
You write your own software,
to cheat and bypass this stuff.
which will only last for so long.
I know, so, and by the way, if you're doing it right, you register a phone number, and that takes 1 to 2 months to get it registered. Oh, and by the way, this flags all the attorneys. I love this. Someone said, it's when you do it the right way, trying to do it the right way, I should say. I don't know. You're registering your phone number anyway, so you could at least blast out, thousands at a time, more than 150 a day. You are accidentally triggering like ambulance chasing, text chasing attorneys that they're going to be on to you. They're going to know it. I don't want to deal with all that stuff. So, and then like I said, there's ways you can cheat it with programmers. You can get phones and numbers and manually set like 150 texts a day, and have a whole team to do that and manage that. Bottom line is the money and the time and the energy that you think and you really don't know what's going through, that to me makes it not worth my time. Could that change? Sure. But for right now, I am not a fan.
Let's take a step back to the basics here. Back to my 100,000 unit example. If you send out 100,000 letters, texts, and emails, same content, same, you're delivering it to the same recipients. You're going to do deals on all three. Can you split test it and see which one's more effective? Probably not, because some people love to text, some people turn their phone off at night, some people don't.
It's like some people don't get them.
Hold on a second. There's There are solicitation laws that directly apply to texting and email that do not, for whatever reason, apply to sending mail out, U.S. mail. So you're already setting yourself up to succeed by sending out a letter. You are setting yourself up to fail unless you have a lot of software behind you and technology that's constantly changing to bypass solicitation laws. What are solicitation laws? They say this: you have to have an established relationship to contact somebody via text or email, not to sell them something, just to contact them. Jill and I have an established relationship, so it's okay for me to text her and she to text me. People who sign up for Land Academy, when they read through when people sign up for Land Academy and they're in our group, we have now an established business relationship, so it's very legal and encouraged for us to send a text or an email saying, "Hey, we're having a Thursday. It's Wednesday. We're having a Thursday call. Please join us. We'd love to hear about what's going on." That's what texting and emailing in a business setting is made for. A great example is your bank. You would love to get
Fraud alert.
a text or an email from your bank saying somebody just pulled $12,000 out of your operational account. That
Right.
doesn't look right to us. Please let us know what you think. So we've hopefully gotten that's a great example of how texting and email and the overseers of these awesome products want it to be used. They do not want you to robo-send anything. So
Right.
there's huge laws set up for it. In many cases, there's huge cases all over the country that where people have been gone through class action suits and come out the other end in not a happy place.
Yeah.
So does it work? Yep. Is it legal? Nope. Is it way freaking cheaper and
I
easier
don't think
to
so.
send out than sending out the U.S. Post? Yes.
I don't agree.
It's a shortcut in the end, just like Jill said, and it's going to get worse, not better.
I do not agree. Sorry that it's easier and cheaper. I think it's harder and more expensive. You know what bums me out is that you think you sent out 1,000 units. What percentage is getting hit? You really don't know, And then I think it's going to discourage some really probably could be really good land investors from having a nice business because it doesn't work out.
Look, if you own a bunch of land and you got a message, whether it's email or texting, that says, "Hey, you want to sell your land?" You're gonna delete it. It won't get through. Just like 99% of the time, it's not going to get to you and capture your attention. If I get an envelope that's blank on the outside that says it's written to me or it's
Yeah.
written to one of my LLCs, I'm going to open it.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I'm going to open it just to see what's inside. And then right when it says that we're interested in buying your land in Mojave County, Arizona for
Mhm.
$12,332, that's step two. Step two for the call of action. That's whatever who was trying to buy my. It's correct. Just trust me. We've tried all this stuff.
Uh-huh. Let
Here,
me add.
I'm gonna. I know you want this to go faster,
No, I
Jill.
need to add another
But it's
comment.
important.
I do. I do want to talk about this, and I have another point to make. We haven't even discussed what's in the texting and emailing. Just getting their attention is one thing, but are you really sending a unique offer so you're not wasting your
A mail
time?
merge type offer.
Right. Is it a personalized text? Because that's a whole different thing versus a postcard that says, "We buy ugly houses." It's like, "We want to buy your house with the yellow door on this corner for this amount of money. Let me know if this is something you're interested in." That's a whole different thing too. So,
The mail works,
yeah.
and the government, for whatever reason, the governing authorities on all this allow it.
Yeah.
Largely because it's a huge revenue stream for the federal government and the post office. They've created this, and they continue to allow
That's
these
fair.
databases. They continue to allow these data sets for whatever reason. Open source and real estate in this country go hand in hand.
Right.
Not anywhere else in the world do they. So it's impossible to split test this, and we know that the mail works. We have multiple people in career path that tell us how much mail they send out and how much success they have. So sidestepping this because it's cheaper up front will probably end in you exiting the business.
Why do you think it's cheaper? Because I don't believe it's cheaper.
Well, it costs 70 cents whatever the stamp costs now.
Well, no, but I'm just saying, well, ours is
You
much
will
cheaper.
you will
We do it
never
in
know.
bulk.
You will never know the deals that you missed if you
Yeah.
text and email. So that's what Jill means when it's not cheaper. You're
You're probably sending out 10 times as much to get the volume. So I don't
here's, and I'm
know.
going to end on this because Jill wants us to stay on the clock. Here's how it works. If you send a letter out, if you do a micro mailer for 200 or 300 or 400 properties, we've done this. We still do this, and they get the letter just like we do. We want to buy your property for X amount, and then they get a text, a follow-up text from us that does not go through any type of application or system. They get a text from a phone, and the phone has the same area code as where you're sending the land, and so they're not getting an 888 number. They're not getting it from New York City or Los Angeles. They're getting, if they're in Arkansas, they're getting the Arkansas area code on the phone. And potentially, if you have the correct data set, which we never do, it's too hard to get, an email follow-up that says, hey, John, we did send you a letter for $32,421 on that piece of property that's on Demington Avenue. And we really are serious about buying it. That works.
Mm-hmm.
Is it legal? No, but it works because it's coming from an individual source, and it's extremely personal and meaningful, and it's a huge amount of work, but it's effective. Join us tomorrow.
Yeah.
Where we talk about how to end a listing agreement with the wrong real estate agent. You are not alone in your real estate ambition.
We are Jack and Jill.
Information
And inspiration
to buy undervalued property.
We hope you found our content valuable and we appreciate your support. If you have not already, please check out our channel and hit the subscribe button.
And your comments and suggestions help us to create the content you're here for. Hitting the like button helps to support our channel's algorithm and gauge your interest for future shows.